Paintbrushes are so expensive. Hey, Basic Painter here. Just wanted to make a quick little video about what I use to paint with. Now, there's a lot of different paintbrushes and stuff like that there that you can buy, and they range from, you know, a couple bucks, you know, like dollar store stuff, straight up to, you know, you name it. You can get really expensive brushes out there. Do you really need expensive brushes? Not really. At least I haven't. I haven't spent a lot of money on brushes over the years. Maybe I have, because, you know, you use it until it just doesn't work well anymore. You throw it out, you grab another one. I've watched, again, others doing the same thing, and you'll see some people say that it's absolutely a necessity to have a good brush. You know, start it with cheap and work your way up, you know, and then just take care of them. Sure, you know, okay, if it works for you, that's great. What works for me? Cheap. You know, there's still a cost. For instance, I've used Army Painter brushes for quite a long time. I purchased them down at our local shop in North Bay, Ontario here, downtown. It's North Bay Games and Hobbies. Owner there is a fantastic guy. They have everything. And if he doesn't have it, he can get it. You know, it's a great store if you want to do some shopping locally, if you're in this area, and you can't beat his prices. You know, and the only way you could beat anything is if he doesn't have it. Now, a lot of times I'm down there, I was picking up the Army Painter brushes from him, and they've been good brushes. They're like $7.99, $5.99, depending on the size. Right, you know, and I'll use them until they're right down to there's nothing left of it. Right, you know, and I've bought a few of them. Right, and they're good brushes. You know, and then I've gone down to Michael's. I picked up, as you saw in the last video, a Royal Langnickel. It's like a clear with a rubber. It's got a nice hold to it. But as you can see, it's already starting to kind of, I don't know if you can see that or how well you can, but the tip is starting to round out on me, and it was a nice fine tip at one point. I still use it for other things, but I don't use it as much for detail anymore. Was a good paintbrush. I've been using it for quite a while. I've probably just used the crap out of it, and, you know, because it's only a $7 brush, right, and then I go get another one, right? If it was a $100 brush, I probably wouldn't do that. But I'm also not going to spend $100 on a brush. I don't feel like it's necessary. Just like these that I've purchased. Now, this is the newest thing I've just tried, and what's it called here again? A Mary's or something. And it's got some kind of Chinese lettering. Right? And I bought this off of Amazon, and it's got a beautiful tip on it. It's got just the right amount of flex and give, but still has some strength to it, so that it keeps that point. And it's fantastic. And the cost of this brush, less than $2. Because when you order them, you get like 11 of them in a pack. Now, you know, there's a 000 right there, so I'm probably going to be using that for sure. Right? Am I going to use a 6 or a 3? You know, probably still, because I have miniatures that aren't really that miniature, you know, and I'm going to do some base coating that's going to require covering a larger area, like for dragons, you know, that are like this big, that I have for Arcadia Quest. I'll probably use those for that, at least to get that base coat, and then eventually I'll work my way down to something finer to do that finer detail. But either way, $19.99 for a whole pack of 11 of them, and so far I've been really impressed. You know, and of course I'll put a link to it on Amazon at the bottom of the page, right? So if you want to check them out, I'm telling you, you know, for $19.99, even if you only use 2 of them, it's still two $10 brushes, and the rest of them, you know, you can use them for whatever other things you want to use them for. You know, it's a good deal. The other thing I was going to talk about was also my airbrush. You saw me using in the first video. Now, this came with a paint set that I bought, right? And you know, you can also get this. I linked it on the first video on Amazon. The price is decent. If you're in North Bay, go down to Games and Hobbies. You can get it there. He has it a little bit less expensive. You don't have to pay for shipping, right? But otherwise, if you're not in North Bay, go to Amazon. The price is pretty good. And you know, this is a 2-stage. It allows you to be able to adjust how much pressure you're going to be able to, or how much air you're going to give, and how much paint you're going to give. And it's a gravity fed, you know, and I've been using it for quite some time now, and it is fantastic. A really, really, really good buy. I've been really, really happy with it, you know, and it also comes with all the basic paints you need. You know, as far as for airbrushing with their air models, you know, from the white and the black and the blue and the red and all your basic colors, and you've got basically an 11-piece set all together for, you know, the price they have. It's great. And if you're going to be painting things, especially for board games where you have a lot of miniatures that are all the same, like an army or something like that, this can really exponentially speed up your process, especially for putting your base coating and all that kind of stuff in, shading and whatnot, right? You know, the money that you spend on one of these, you'll get that money back, you know, just in time that it takes to do everything. And I've done it. I've painted little miniatures for Arcadia Quest, little platypus guys, there's 8 of them in a row, right, and other ones as well, and you know, did it all by hand, and they still look great, but it just took a long time to do, you know, and there's still lots more to paint. And if you do get into things like 40K Warhammer series stuff, you're going to want to get one of these, because you're painting armies of people, right? You're going to speed up your process, and you're going to get your nice, really cool little painted guys out there in the battlefield a lot sooner. Another thing that I also use for when it comes to paintbrushes, believe it or not, is these guys. Now, I can't remember where I saw this. I got this idea from somebody else, and it might have been from this guy, from Black Magic Craft. Fantastic crafting individual. D&D fanatic, right? It makes all of his own pieces to go for his D&D campaigns, using polystyrene and Proxxon cutting tables and whatnot. And I've learned an awful lot from this guy, and hopefully he sees the video and likes that I'm supporting him. But he probably got me a little bit into wanting to do this myself. And these brushes, I can't remember if it was him or not, that it might have been also DM Scotty, or it could have been Wylock, or one of those guys too. Check out their channels. They've got a lot of knowledge about crafting and, you know, creating their own stuff, opposed to just painting minis. But when you're going to be doing, say, like a light coat or a dry coat on a character, just to bring up a little bit of highlights, these are fantastic. Really, really nice soft bristles. It picks up just very little bit of paint. You know, brush it out on a piece of paper towel, get it to the right consistency you want, and you can cover area really, really nicely with these. You know, and again, they're not expensive, right? So when they start getting a little bit clogged up or worn out, like this one here, you can see I've used. And the funny thing is I use it and it starts, the ends start getting really rough. I just take a pair of scissors and I cut it off. And then I just keep going until it gets down to the point where it's just not fluffy anymore. Then I throw it out and I get another one. right? So don't go spending a lot of money, you know, especially if you just start out painting. You don't have to. And you know what? If I'm wrong and a really good paintbrush has treated you well and you're just watching this and going, oh, that guy doesn't know anything, well, you know what? I've seen people say a good paintbrush is a great idea, you know, and spend the money and take good care of it, you know, then by all means, you know, if that works for you, then that's great. Otherwise, you don't really have to. I don't, and they work great. You know, the quality still comes out. And I also have assistance with a brush too, airbrush. Thanks for watching. Short video. I'll get another one in there soon. We're gonna paint some more miniatures, right? And I'm gonna go a little bit more in detail so you can see what I'm doing and start something fresh rather than just finishing something off. I want to get this Rising Sun done so that we can play a game of Rising Sun with fully painted characters for the whole entire board, and it's going to be awesome. Until then, you know, click the like button. Please subscribe, because I can't keep doing this if I don't get enough subscribers to make the channel actually function. You know, and if there's any comments or anything that you can do to help me make this channel better, or if there's any advice, or, you know, even if you think, hey, you know, great idea, thank you, right? Just leave the comments below. I'll leave a link for those brushes. Go check it out on Amazon. They're fantastic, you know, for the price. Again, you can also go to the previous video. There's also a link there for the airbrush, so you can check that out. It's an airbrush kit, comes with all the paint that you would need as well. And there's also a link there for the Citadel Technical for the Articoat, right? You know, if you just want to have something to bring out that shine or that shimmer in the character that you're doing. Until then, you know, enjoy painting, and we'll catch you around.